What if I told you that you might be leaving thousands of dollars on the table every single year just because you never learned how to ask for it? It's true. Most people stay underpaid not because they are bad employees, but because they never negotiate. And the scariest part, your employer actually expects you to negotiate. So why don't more people do it? Fear, confusion, not knowing what to say. But today, we're changing that. I'm going to show you step by step how to negotiate your salary. Like a pro, without feeling awkward or pushy, and stick around, because I'll share one surprising trick at the end that even experienced professionals often miss. Number 1. Know your worth before you walk in. Let's start with the biggest mistake people make. They guess. If you don't know what someone in your position earns, how can you ask for the right number? Luckily, this is easy to fix. Use free tools like Glassdoor, Salary.com, or PayScale to research salaries in your industry, city, and level of experience. For example, if you're applying as a junior software developer in Chicago, you might find the range is between $70,000 and $85,000 per year. Now, you're not just throwing out random numbers. You have evidence. And don't forget to factor in your skills and certifications. If you bring something extra to the table, like being bilingual or certified in a niche skill, you may even aim for the higher end of the range. Knowing your worth gives you confidence, and it shows. Number 2. Timing is everything. You might not realize this, but the moment you bring up salary matters. Many people ask too early, like during the first interview, and it can turn employers off. Instead, wait until you've proven your value. That means after you've impressed them with your skills, solved their problems in the interview, and they've shown serious interest. If they ask about your expectations early, you can politely say something like, "I'd love to learn more about the role and responsibilities before discussing numbers." This keeps you from lowballing yourself too soon. One woman I coached held off until the third interview and ended up getting $12,000 more than the original offer. Sometimes, patience really pays off. Number 3. Practice your script. Ever freeze up when someone asks you what salary you want? That's because you're winging it. The best negotiators rehearse. Write down what you want to say and practice it until it feels natural. For example, based on my research and the value I bring to this role, I believe a salary in the range of $80,000 to $85,000 would be appropriate. Short, confident, professional. You can even practice in front of a mirror or with a friend. The more you practice, the less likely you'll stumble when it really counts. And remember, silence is your friend. Once you say your number, stop talking. Let them respond. It might feel awkward, but it shows you mean business. Number 4. Don't just focus on the salary. Here's where you can really shine. Salary is important, but it's not everything. Think about the entire package. Can they offer a signing bonus, better health insurance, more vacation days, work from home options? One man I helped negotiated 2 extra weeks of paid vacation, which is worth thousands of dollars every year. If they can't budge much on salary, you can still walk away with valuable perks. Make a list of what matters to you, then ask. Sometimes, these extras are easier for employers to approve than a higher paycheck. Number 5. Confidence beats fear. I get it. Negotiating can feel scary, like you're being greedy or ungrateful. But here's the truth. Employers expect you to negotiate. In fact, studies show over 80% of managers are willing to give more, but only if you ask. If you don't negotiate, they simply assume you're okay with the offer. So walk in with your head held high. Even if they say no, you haven't lost anything, and you've shown that you know your value. And guess what? People who negotiate their salary earn an average of $1 million more over their lifetime than those who don't. That's too much money to leave on the table just because you feel awkward. Number 6. Use data, not emotion. This is where many people go wrong. They say things like, "I need more money because my rent went up," or "I have student loans to pay." Your employer cares about what you bring to the company, not your personal bills. So keep it professional. For example, based on the industry average for this position and my track record of exceeding targets, I believe a salary closer to $90,000 reflects the value I bring. See the difference? It's not about your needs. It's about your worth. And that's much harder to argue against. Number 7. Be ready to walk away. Here's the tough part. If the offer is way below what you're worth and they won't budge, you may have to say no. That doesn't mean being rude, just firm. One woman I know turned down an offer that was $10,000 below her minimum. 2 weeks later, they called her back with a better offer because they didn't want to lose her. Sometimes walking away shows just how valuable you are. So always know your bottom line before the conversation. That way, you don't agree to something you'll regret later. Number 8. End on a positive note. Even if you don't get everything you ask for, always thank them for considering your request. You never know when another opportunity with the same company might come up. Say something like, "Thank you for working with me on this. I'm excited to join the team and deliver results." This leaves a good impression and keeps the door open for future raises or promotions. Remember, salary negotiation is just the beginning of your career story, not the end. Number 9. Handle the "what's your current salary?" question like a pro. Here's a tricky moment that catches a lot of beginners off guard. When employers ask, "What are you making now?" you might feel cornered. If your current salary is lower than what you're worth, it can hurt your chances of getting a better offer. So what do you say? Politely redirect. You can respond with, "I prefer to focus on the value I can bring to this role rather than my current pay. Based on my research, I believe a salary around $80,000 is appropriate." Notice how you don't dodge the question entirely, but you keep the conversation focused on what really matters: the value you bring and the market rate. This approach is professional and keeps you in control. Number 10. When they say, "We can't go that high." This is a moment many fear, but it's also an opportunity. If they say, "Sorry, our budget doesn't allow for that," don't panic. Stay calm and ask, "Can you tell me what you could do instead?" Sometimes they'll come back with something close, or they may offer perks or bonuses to bridge the gap. For example, one client of mine asked for $75,000 and was told the budget only allowed $70,000. She calmly asked if they could include a signing bonus or a 6-month salary review. They agreed to a $3,000 signing bonus and promised a raise at her next performance review. You never know unless you ask. Number 11. How to negotiate a raise. At your current job, salary negotiation isn't just for new jobs. It's also for your current role. But here's where most employees mess up. They walk into their boss's office and say, "I think I deserve a raise." That's not enough. Instead, come prepared with proof of your achievements. Make a list of the ways you've helped the company. For example, in the past year, I've increased sales by 20%, streamlined our process to save $15,000 annually, and trained 3 new team members. Then say something like, "Given the results I've delivered and the market rate for my position, I'd like to discuss adjusting my salary to better reflect my contributions." That's how you make it about results, not just feelings. Number 12. What if they say no? Sometimes, no matter how prepared you are, the answer is still no. That's okay. You can turn it into a learning moment. Ask, "What would I need to accomplish in the next few months to be considered for a raise or promotion?" This shows initiative and gives you clear goals to work toward. One man I coached was told no when he asked for a raise. He followed up by asking for specific targets, and 3 months later, after hitting them, he got the raise he wanted. Don't see no as the end of the conversation. See it as the start of a plan. Number 13. Body language matters more than you think. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. Studies show that confident body language can make you appear more competent and trustworthy. So sit up straight, make eye contact, speak slowly and clearly, smile. For example, instead of nervously fidgeting or avoiding eye contact, keep your hands calmly on the table and look them in the eye when you speak. Confidence is contagious, and it can even influence the other person's perception of your value. By now, you've learned how to research your worth, time your ask, script your pitch, and handle tricky questions with confidence. You even know how to negotiate perks beyond just salary, and how to keep the conversation positive even if you don't get everything you ask for right away. So let me leave you with this. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. But if you do ask, and you follow these steps, you just might surprise yourself with how much you can earn. Here's my question for you. What's the biggest thing holding you back from negotiating your salary right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you plan to put this into action.